Hey everyone, today I'm going to go over how to read an explanation of benefits or an EOB. An explanation of benefits, long story short, is how your claim, whether a small office visit or a large claim, whether it's surgery, having a baby, whatever the case is, how the insurance company processed it through your benefits. Now, before you usually get an EOB or an explanation of benefits, before the insurance company processes it, usually you get a large bill from the provider. In this case, I'm going to go over what it looks like to have a baby and getting that bill. And if you got a bill from the hospital before the insurance company process it through your benefits, you might have a heart attack. And the reason being is that that's what the hospital bills. So in this case, we have a $29,200 bill that we got from the hospital. Now, I'm actually going to show you a personal case study, so to speak, for when my wife gave birth to our second daughter. And in this situation, we went to an in-network hospital. And again, they sent a bill to us before the insurance company even processed it for this $29,200 that you can see at the bottom. Now, that's what they billed. And today, again, I want to go over how an explanation of benefits reads, just so that you can understand how it all works. So without getting into the smoke and mirrors of why hospitals bill what they bill, in this case, they bill 29,200. The allowed amount is always the number that we want to look at. And this is the most important reason why you most likely have insurance to begin with, is the negotiated contracted rate, allowed amount, whatever you want to call it. Long story short, my insurance provider has a contract with such and such hospital saying that, hey, if one of our participants comes to deliver, this is the amount that we're going to give you to deliver a baby. So even though they bill 29,200, they know well in advance that, hey, they're probably only going to get this 93.63. That is the allowed amount. Now, whether I have a gold plan, a bronze plan, a silver plan, that's just going to depend on how this 93.63 gets filtered out, right? Who's paying what? Now, 93.63, that's what the hospital is getting in this case. Based off my plan design, right? They go through and they say, hey, your plan is going to pay 73.78. My copay, possibly for having the child, is $1,000. I had to pay more towards my deductible, $984 towards my deductible. So what I total owe for this total claim is this 1984. Now again, this 1984 could be higher if I had a more catastrophic plan, right? A higher deductible, worse copays, things like that, or it could be lower. But at the end of the day, that allowed amount is pretty set. That's what my insurance carrier and the provider agreed upon when someone like myself is going to go in for a claim like this. So again, even though you may get the bill for 29,200, that's not what you're going to owe, right? The hospital doesn't know whether you've hit your out-of-pocket limit. They don't know whether you've hit your deductible. The insurance company knows this, but it takes them time to process it, right? Because there might be claims that happened prior to this. So when the time comes and the insurance company processes this claim based off the dates and what other claims were sent through, they come back and they say, hey, based off our records, you owe 1984. And so we would have to, reach out to the hospital, provide payment, and we're all set. Now, this is a pretty big invoice, right? A pretty big claim. What does it look like if it's something smaller? So I'm going to show you now, what does it look like if we have, let's say, a dermatologist appointment, right? So a dermatologist appointment for an in-network provider, again, they bill $245. But like I mentioned, we always want to look at the allowed amount. And this is the biggest thing when we're looking at explanation of benefits to see if things were processed correctly. If it, for this particular claim, $88.77, that is what the dermatologist here is getting. Okay, based off my plan, my copay for a specialist was $65. The insurance company paid $23.77, and again, that doctor got $88.77. If I was maybe on a high deductible health plan where nothing is covered until my deductible, that doctor is still getting $88.77. I just might be responsible for that whole portion. Or if I had a better plan and my copays for my specialist was only $10, well, they're still getting $88.77. But of that $88.77, maybe I'm responsible for $10, and then the insurance company would have paid more. So depending on what service or what claim is being processed, we always want to look at the allowed amount, because again, that's where the magic happens. That's really the purpose of having insurance, is so that I don't go to the hospital and they don't bill me for that 29,000, right? Because I don't have insurance. Instead, I have insurance so that they knock that down with the allowed amount, so that these giant insurance carriers are negotiating on my behalf for more favorable rates when it comes to these certain claims. And that's the same thing whether it's, again, going to a hospital, seeing a dermatologist. Again, if I'm going to see a therapist, right? My amount billed $230. The allowed amount is $115. So based off the benefits here, my copay is $30. The plan paid $85. So again, the biggest thing that we're always looking at when reading through explanation of benefits is the allowed amount. And then a lot of times there'll be codes in here that are going to help explain how and why it was processed. Whether, hey, thanks for using an in-network provider, that is, that drops down the cost, things like that. The one thing I wanted to kind of go over is what the wellness visit of an explanation of benefits looks like, right? Because if you're familiar with the other videos, wellness visits, preventative care visits should be covered 100%. Now, in this situation, right, when I go to the doctor, they're gonna do all these different things. They're gonna take my blood. They're gonna do a few different tests, right, to make sure I'm in good health. And so they billed $300, but they knew that they were only gonna get $245, right? That was the allowed amount. Now, because it's a wellness visit, right, I know that I am not responsible for anything on this claim. So if I did get a bill for $245, I would just keep in my head knowing that, okay, I need some time for the insurance company to process the claim and then send the payment to the doctor's office. In this situation, right, again, $245 was the allowed amount. My plan paid the entire $245, meaning that I owed $0. So here is another claim with regards to seeing a doctor via telehealth. So based off the benefits, the telehealth copay is only $15. Now, again, the doctor bills the insurance company $274. Again, the allowed amount, the biggest thing that we want to be aware of, they come back and they say, hey, it's only $222.97 for a telehealth appointment for people that have our plan. The plan paid $207, I paid $15. Now, again, if I had a worser plan and it was a higher deductible, maybe I have to pay this full $222. But again, the biggest thing with insurance carriers, the reason why a lot of us have it, is to get this negotiated rate, this allowed amount, contracted rate, whatever you want to refer to it. But when reading through explanation of benefits, the biggest thing is to read these codes and look and make sure that it was processed through the allowed amount. Maybe you didn't get a pre-authorization when you were supposed to. And so maybe the doctor has to reach back out to the insurance carrier and get that pre-authorization. If you have any questions regarding claims, or if they're processed correctly and you're a client of ours, feel free to reach out to us directly and we'll be glad to help. If you are not a client of ours, feel free to reach out to your insurance carrier and they'll be able to walk you through the claims. It might take some time to actually get to a representative depending on your carrier, but hopefully they can help answer as to why a claim wasn't paid or help you understand, your benefits a little bit deeper. But we hope this was helpful. And again, any comments, please let us know so that we can fine tune this and try to make understanding your benefits a little bit easier. Till next time.